Hello everybody, hello YouTube, hello art history enthusiasts and visual culture aficionados. It's me again, Miss M, and I'm back with yet another video. And currently, currently, I am on a Full Metal Jacket kick. After the video I did last night, this one, Full Metal Jacket Analysis Part 1, I am curious about what Stanley is up to. Okay, so I watched, I thought I was going to do the first 12 minutes of the movie in this part 1 analysis last night. Turned out that I only did 5 minutes, but I watched like the first 12 minutes or so. And I saw some interesting stuff, and I just kind of want to prepare you for what's to come. I guess that you could call this a film analysis video for Full Metal Jacket. I'm going to discuss a couple of possible things that Stanley might be throwing at us, so to speak. What do they say? Are you catching what I'm throwing? That kind of thing. What is Stanley throwing in Full Metal Jacket? Okay, so before I get into it, let me do my church announcements. Now would be a good time to fire up the percolator or order your drink from any of the coffee places on any of the delivery services. So get into it, y'all. So returning viewers, thank you for returning. New viewers, thank you for being new. Subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Please, all of you, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video if you know anybody who might enjoy any of this. And of course, I'm especially interested in the comments to see what you have to say. So now that I got that out the way, let's get on into it. Here we go. I wanted to talk about this. Okay, this thing. The standard, or whatever you want to call this, that the regiment carries with them whenever they're doing their PT. As Sergeant Hartman calls it. PT is physical training. And the standard, or Guidon, I think I'm pronouncing this correctly, Guidon, Guidon, USMC 3092 Guidon. That is the number on the Guidon, or the little flag thing, that is featured pretty prominently in the movie. This is a website that allegedly is selling the original prop. I don't know if this is a listing that is still active or not, but I found this, and it says here, what is the description of this item? An original prop from the production of Full Metal Jacket, the 1987 war picture, directed by Stanley Kubrick. Okay, so we see it here, and it's nice and red. You know how, I mean, I guess they are red. I don't know. I'm not a military person, but I would figure he would try to be true to life for the movie and what they really do in the military. It's red with yellow letters. Interesting. And this is a picture of it in the movie where you can clearly see the number on it. And this is near the beginning of the movie when the recruits are getting PT'd by Sergeant Hartman. You know, I always like to do a little tangents on my videos. I wish I had a Sergeant Hartman in my life that could like be my personal trainer. That would be awesome. I would lose weight in no time if and I'm doing okay. I'm PTing myself pretty well. I mean, I'm exercising every day. I'm going to go work out later on today. But if I had somebody like him, like, you know, I might be able to finally build up that upper body strength that I've always wanted. I'm female. All my strength is from the waist down, the lower half of my body, my shoulders, my arms, and yeah, useless, completely useless. Why can I not have a trainer like Sergeant Hartman? I would love it. But this is it. This is the guidon used in the movie, and there it is again. Okay. And I said, you know me, or you should know me by now. If you've been subscribed and watching my videos for any length of time, you know that I think there's something going on with this thing. Okay, with this thing, I think there is something going on. What that is, I don't know, but I intend to hopefully find out, or at least research and explore what could possibly be going on. So here's my first thing. I looked up just the number 3092. 3092, and look at what I found, y'all. 50 USC. I don't know what this like double S symbol means, but 3092. US Code, unannotated Title 50 War and National Defense, whatever this symbol is, 3092. Reporting of intelligence activities other than covert actions. What the hell is this? Now, I'm going to leave this link in the description. You can look at it whenever you like to and read through this. I have trouble with legal language. I am not a lawyer. I did not go to law school. Again, I've got a couple of legal people who are regular viewers of my material, and I adore them. I'm so happy that they're here. They can maybe help me with this shit because I don't know I mean, I have an idea of what's going on. I read through it. Yes, I did. And I struggled, but I think I figured out something. This particular thing, and here's another printing of it. This is from Cornell Law School. Where obviously the description is a little bit longer than this one over here on Find Law. But this is the Legal Information Institute, and they have a whole thing on this. 30. Oh Lord, no, this is the other one. I'm so sorry. This is for 3093, which is related to 3092. Oh, it's complicated. It is so complicated. Basically, this thing is a law, okay, that has to do with intelligence activities. When they say intelligence, they mean like, spying and whatever. Other than covert actions. So basically this 3092 thing, it means that Congress must be informed of all intelligence activities. That whatever's going on by U.S. intelligence all over the world, Congress needs to know about it unless it's a covert action, okay? Unless it's a covert action, and it says here in this section A and then this subsection 1, unless it is a covert action as defined in section 3093E. And of course, this over here is the link to the Cornell Law thing about 3093. And this is about presidential approval and reporting of covert actions. Okay, what does that mean? What does this all mean put together, 3092 plus 3093? It means that Congress needs to know about any intelligence activities unless they're designated as covert actions, operations or whatever, that are ongoing, current and or ongoing, and who gets to decide what's a covert action? The president. Okay, presidential approval and reporting of covert actions. So Congress needs to know about everything except something that is determined to be a covert action. Who determines whether or not something is a covert action? The president. Okay, that's the only thing that they ain't got no business worrying about or wanting to know about, and that gets to stay under wraps. Why? Because the president said so. That's why. That's what I got out of these two. Okay, that's what I understand from reading this in my very limited, very meager, very poor understanding of legal language and what have you. And I said, where the hell does this come from? Okay, like how old is this law? How long has it been around? And of course, I got to dig in a little more, and here it is. Yes, the National Security Act of 1947. Okay, this 3092, 3093 is all a part of this. And what is the National Security Act of 1947? You might be asking. It was enacted in July 26, 1947. It was a law enacting major restructuring of the United States government's military and intelligence agencies following World War II. The majority of the provisions of the act took effect on September 18th, 1947, the day after the Senate confirmed James Forrestal. Uh-oh, am I going to have to research this guy? Anyway, confirmed James Forrestal as the first Secretary of Defense. Okay, I'm going to keep reading because this is important. The act merged the Department of the Army, renamed the Department of War, the Department of the Navy, and the newly established Department of the Air Force into the National Military Establishment. The act also created the position of the Secretary of Defense as the head of the NME, National Military Establishment. It established the United States Air Force under the DAF. What is the DAF? The Department of the Air Force, yeah, which worked to separate the Army Air Forces into its own service. It also protected the Marine Corps as an independent service under the Department of the Navy. This movie deals with the Marine Corps, okay? The guys in Full Metal Jacket are all USMC. Aside from the unification of 3 military departments, the act established the National Security Council, and the Central Intelligence Agency, the latter of which is headed by the Director of Central Intelligence, who is currently, oh Lord, who is the Director of Intelligence currently? They did restructuring with that too. Never mind. Now it's the Director of National Intelligence. Okay, we can talk about that some other time. But I don't think I'll read the last part of this, but this is the thing. The National Security Act of 1947 is the reason we have what is now called the CIA. Okay, Central Intelligence Agency. Before that, it was called it still existed in some form. I think like Julia Child even worked for them, but before it was called the CIA, it was called something else. And it says the long title, an act to promote the national security by providing for a Secretary of Defense, for a national military establishment, for a Department of the Army, a Department of the Navy, a Department of the Air Force, and for the coordination of the activities of the national military Excuse me. Now you know why I do these videos usually later at night, because the damn phone doesn't ring that late at night. Anyway, where was I going with this and why? Oh yes, and for the coordination of the activities of the national military establishment with other departments and agencies of the government concerned with national security. Okay. All right. So my question is Stanley Kubrick pointing us in the direction of the national security? And I was looking for covert operations. Was Stanley Kubrick pointing us in the direction of this thing, the National Security Act of 1947, and he specifically wanted us to know about 3092, War and National Defense, reporting of intelligence activities other than covert actions. That gives them a lot of room now, doesn't it? Congress doesn't need to know about covert actions now, do they? And that could be a good thing, and that could be a bad thing. It could go either way. I'm not criticizing, because I don't know what I don't know. But it's very curious, don't you think? But again, this is the National Security Act of 1947. This saw the formation of what we now call the CIA. Okay. And they had congressional hearings, all kinds of stuff. And as you can see, coordination, Title I has to do with coordination. And it says here, it also established the Central Intelligence Agency under the National Security Council, led by the Director of Central Intelligence. The role of the Director of Central Intelligence and the CIA as a whole is an advisory unit to the National Security Council and as a coordinator of intelligence. Apparently, intelligence is extremely important. We underestimate its importance as like civilians, as the public, but it plays a huge role in all this stuff that you see on the news. Oh my goodness, the CIA and of course the FBI too. I mentioned Bureau the other day in what video was it? Hold on. I think this one, top 15 iconic moments. I talked about that part where Wendy sees the man in the bear costume and the man in the tuxedo through the door doing whatever it is that they were doing. And then right outside that room in the hallway, there is a piece of furniture that is very often referred to as a bureau. Okay, Stanley is doing it again. But anyway, uh, something's going on. Something's going on. Okay, something is going on. What is going on? I don't know. But does this connect to what I believe The Shining is about, the Manhattan Project? The Manhattan Project was done before 1947. Remember, summer of 42? So by the time the national security of, excuse me, by the time the National Security Act of 1947 was passed, September 1947, the war was over. The Second World War was over. The Manhattan Project, from what I can gather, maybe I need to look into it a little more, but that was over too. They made the atomic bomb. They dropped it twice, once on Nagasaki and the other time on Hiroshima. And then after that, they did this, the National Security Act of 1947, including all of these provisions and caveats and whatever regarding covert actions. What in the blue fuck is going on? I want to know. Anyway, I also wanted to talk about this, which I don't know if I have the time, but I'll talk about it briefly. This is not going to be a long video, you guys. This is from a website called Clio Muse, and it's called Aryan Papers, Kubrick's never completed Holocaust movie. Okay? This should be interesting to anybody who's a Kubrickologist. It says, I'll read this first paragraph. The Brooklyn-born Kubrick was raised by his parents as a secular Jew. He had no bar mitzvah. This is where I found out that he never got bar mitzvahed. But he had no bar mitzvah, and his 3 marriages involved no Jewish wedding ceremony. At no stage in his early life did he take any interest in Judaism or any other form of religion. From an early point in his filmmaking career, Kubrick had considered making a film about the Holocaust. He even asked the famous author Isaac Bashevis Singer to write a screenplay and was disheartened when Singer turned him down. Oh my. Oh my. Wait a minute. This is important. During the early 1990s, following the commercial success and critical controversy generated by his epochal 2001: A Space Odyssey, Kubrick spent months trying to adapt a novel with its background in the Holocaust. Entitled Wartime Lies, it was the American author Louis Begley's first novel and had attracted considerable critical praise. The novel focuses on the efforts of 2 Polish Jews, a young boy and his aunt, to escape the Nazi roundups of fellow Jews by posing as Catholic Poles. By August 1991, Kubrick had completed his first draft of a screenplay based on months of reading the novel Wartime Lies and researching its plot, background, and settings. He decided to call the movie Aryan Papers, a nod to the pair's crucial need to obtain official documents identifying them as Aryans. Okay. And this article discusses Kubrick's interest in making Wartime Lies into a movie. Okay. And he did a lot of work on this movie. He even did, costume photos for the actresses. This actress Joanna Ter Steege. And there's a Aryan Papers box, apparently, at the Stanley Kubrick Archives in the University of the Arts in London. Oh my goodness. And then this also leads us to, if he was thinking about making yet another war movie with Aryan Papers, he made Full Metal Jacket. He made Paths of Glory. He made, what else did he make? Oh Lord. He made Paths of Glory. He made Spartacus. That's another war-themed movie. He wanted to make the Napoleon movie. Didn't end up making that one either. Napoleon, you know, Napoleon Bonaparte, excuse me. If he's known for anything, he's known for being possibly the best general military leader in the history of the world. Okay, like Stanley was obsessed. Looks like it. He was obsessed with war. Um, and it didn't. I mean, it kind of didn't matter which war you're talking about. Was it World War One, Paths of Glory, World War Two, with Aryan Papers that did ended up not getting made. The Napoleonic Wars with Napoleon. The whatever was going on in ancient Rome with the movie Spartacus. And if I'm right, oh, and of course, Full Metal Jacket, Vietnam. And if I'm right, The Shining might really be a war movie too, which is just not easy to figure out right away when you're looking at it. Is it? It's filled with if again, if I'm right, it's filled with references to the Manhattan Project and the nuclear weapons being used on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and possibly other stuff that I haven't even thought about yet. I still got more work to do. He was trying to do something. He really wanted to say something about war in general, and not probably not just war, but whatever it is that makes war possible. It shouldn't be possible. We shouldn't even let our minds go in that direction, whether it's us ordinary people or our damn leaders who let that kind of shit happen. Why? Why does it keep happening? And Stanley is asking, not just why why did it happen with Napoleon? Why did it happen with ancient Rome? Why did it happen with World War One, World War Two, Vietnam, whatever? He's questioning, I think he's taking it all the way back to the beginning, back to day one, Mesopotamia. I'm gonna have to talk about that again. But anyway, it says here, Aryan Papers reflects Kubrick's cinematic preoccupations. I call them obsessions. There ain't nothing wrong with being obsessed. War and conflict were crucial elements in Kubrick's cinema, most notably in Paths of Glory and Full Metal Jacket. This theme was also deeply embedded in Barry Lyndon. Well, there we go again. Okay. And even in Spartacus, although Kubrick did not claim this epic as his own project. Well, he directed it, but we need to wonder. We need to figure this out. What is going on? What is Stanley trying to tell us? This is serious. This is important. So, if I'm right about again this, yeah, this, it's pointing us to this, and then this, and ultimately this. What is Stanley trying to open our eyes to? What is he trying to articulate and communicate to us, his viewers? Specifically regarding war. And I guess the very idea that we as the public are not privy. We don't know what's really going on. And they have laws in effect that basically that as far as they're concerned, the powers that be, as far as they're concerned, make it okay to not tell us what's really going on, but also at the same time somehow make it okay for them to not tell us what's really going on, but to send our young people off to fight and die in these ridiculous wars that we don't even really know what's really going on. Something about that just doesn't make sense to me, and something about that just seems evil to me. Okay, we need to talk about it. Stanley is pushing us in that direction. Stanley wants us to talk about it, think about it, figure it out with his help. He's pointing us somewhere. Again, maybe he's not even like presenting us a fully formed like conclusion regarding these things, but he is urging us to think about these things. He sure is. So, you guys, that's it for today. I wanted to make a quick video just as a little follow-up to my Full Metal Jacket. Don't worry, I promise. I'm working on understanding The Shining, Part 19. It's on the way. Stay tuned. Please be patient with me. I've had a lot going on in the past couple of months. My goodness. But anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you all so much. I'm going to reiterate my church announcements and then I'm going to let you go. Hope you enjoyed this little cafecito with me. We're going to have a much bigger cafecito when I get into understanding The Shining part 19. Okay, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. There's so much more to talk about. So, let me do the church announcements again, and then I'll let you go. Returning viewers, thank you for returning. New viewers, thank you for being new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. All of you, doesn't matter why you're here, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you know anybody who might enjoy this, I'm especially interested in the comments, your ideas. I love to know what you want to see and what you want me to possibly work on in my Kubrickology research. Let me know. Let me know. I love it all. So until next time, you all. Until next time, when I find yet another reason to talk at you in one of these videos, I'm gonna go ahead and bid you bye bye. So, bye bye, everybody.